Hey listeners, before we get started today, I just wanted to take a moment to let you know that during this episode, we make reference to a website called MexicanSugarSkull.com, and we post a video on the blog associated with this episode with a woman from Rain Trading Company talking about talking about sugar skulls and how you make them. And there's another video of a woman making sugar skulls using the skulls from Rain Trading Company, which is MexicanSugarSkulls.com. And the reason that I'm letting you know this is they are a great company. They've been around for years. And after we recorded this episode, I found out that they sadly were impacted by the fires in California, which, if I'm sure you're aware, it's been all over the news, but if you're not, they were horrible, destructive fires. They lost their home. They lost a lot of their stock. They lost their business, really. They do still have some things to sell. And I'm going to link their website in the blog because on the front page of their blog, they have a little note telling people what happened and giving links to locations where you can still buy the sugar skulls if you're interested, or the sugar skull molds they make and sell. And it's going to take them a while to rebuild their business. And I really think it's important that we try to support this awesome business. It's really awful and really sad that this happened to them. And I mean, they literally lost everything. They said that they were woken up in the middle of the night and they had 25 minutes to get their shit out and leave, and they lost everything. So I just wanted to take a second before we start this episode to acknowledge that this happened to them and to encourage our listeners to support them in any way they can. Go ahead and go to their MexicanSugarSkull.com site. There'll be a link in the blog, like I said, at twoartsygals.com. So anyway, enjoy the episode, and thank you very much.
Unicorns and glitter and taxidermy critters are just some of the things they like. They also enjoy 80s hair bands, Grizzly Adams and John Goodman, so if you think that's weird, then you can take a hike. But the things they enjoy the most are making art and cracking jokes, so without further ado, here are your hosts. You've got your two artsy gals, Here are your two artsy gals.
Hey everybody, this is Katie.
And this is Lonnie.
And you're listening to Two Artsy Gals! Yay! Oh,
hi.
Wow, that truck was really loud.
Yeah.
I live really close to the freeway, guys. So if you ever hear like Jake brakes or weird things in the background, it's that. I keep the windows closed when we record, but
yeah.
I mean, like, really, the freeway is like right behind my house.
Yeah. The old place they lived on, Barber, was so loud because it was kind of an overpass there.
Oh, were you to go to the bridge? Yeah.
Yeah, and so big trucks would make it go.
Yeah, that's freaky.
Oh my god.
That is weird. Yeah, things shake this house sometimes. Like trucks like that really shake. Sometimes I'm like really paranoid about earthquakes.
I've seen you a lot of times post,
was that an earthquake? Because I get all like, wait, what was that? But now that I'm used to it, like I realize, especially if you're on the second story of the house, which is where my studio is, it shakes a lot.
Yeah. And
sometimes when big semis have truck tires blow, it's very frightening. Like you feel like you're going to die.
Yeah.
Like it even scares the animals.
Yeah.
Like we are all like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
Was that a gunshot? Was that an explosion? What the fuck was that?
Yeah.
All right, it was just a tire. We're good. It's scary. Anyway, all those noises is the freeway.
Yep.
I try to cut them out, but sometimes I can't.
People
it's like we were talking when the Jake brakes went.
It'd be a cool like Segway noise or something after.
Like, hi dog. The dog's happy that Lonnie is here.
Aww.
Should we talk about what we did last weekend?
Yeah, sure.
It was kind of awesome. I was just going to say, because my husband said that Duda was sad all day.
Aww.
Because you didn't come in the house when you picked me up. And he made like these crazy, he's like, Jesus, Doodah really has like a special bark when Lonnie comes. Like it's this high pitched crazy bark. I'm like, I know. It's his.
I noticed it today when he came up to the door and I would say his name and then he'd do the high pitched bark.
That's his excited. Oh my God. Someone I really, really love is here. Anyway, Lonnie and I had a super awesome weekend.
Yeah.
And I feel like we won't be as chatty today.
Yeah.
Because we've seen each other recently.
I know. And I'm still kind of tired.
I am still tired and sore.
Like, am I a wuss?
No, it was a pretty big deal for us. So
Yeah.
I invited Lonnie to participate in the, it's the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention's Out of the Darkness Walk. And we did that on Saturday. And our team raised over $5,700.
That's so rad.
So, and the whole walk raised over $133,000. But yeah, we went and we had an awesome team. Our team was called the Starboard Project, which my friend Kaylee started that foundation, that nonprofit a few years ago, in honor of her brother Lucas, who she lost to suicide about 5 or 6 years ago. And we walked with that team, and she's actually now thinking that she wants to do little walks and things like this under the Starboard Project umbrella, and just to donate to the larger foundation, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. But it was a really cool day. It was a really long walk, and I'm so glad you went with me.
Yeah.
Like, I have some physical challenges.
Me too.
So from my disability, so I couldn't have done it without you walking with me at my pace. But we walked almost 4 miles.
It was perfect because it's my pace too. I was like, thank you.
I was all like, Lonnie, am I walking too slow for you? I feel like I'm slowing you down. And she's like, nope, this is exactly my pace.
Yeah.
I'm like, rad.
I'm letting everybody pass us.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. Just go on ahead.
It was pretty cool though. It was a nice walk.
Yeah. It was a great day.
I saw things that I haven't seen around town. Because I don't normally walk in those areas of town. It was really neat. And we walked over the Hawthorne Bridge and over the Steel Bridge.
Despite our anxiety.
I have decided now that my least favorite bridge to walk over is the Steel Bridge.
Oh.
And not the Hawthorne Bridge.
Yeah.
I did not like that bridge. Although you are closer to the water.
Stinky.
Yeah, it smells like creosote because there's railroad ties that runs through there. So it's very stinky.
And I don't know what it would have been like if a train was going
by.
a
train went, Max train went over above us.
Yeah.
And it really shook the bridge. And then I was like, well, fuck, I'm going to die right now. This sucks. I don't like this.
Yeah. And it was crowded.
Little known fact, Katie's not an awesome swimmer.
Uh-oh.
I mean, I have a serviceable dog paddle that might get me a few feet, but I'm not a strong swimmer. So, yeah, thankfully it was not a triathlon. It was just a walk, and I didn't fall off the bridge.
Yes, we didn't.
But
we wore tutus and everything.
We did, and I shed glitter from one end of Portland to the other because my tutu was Do you still have glitter all over your fucking car seat?
It vacuumed up nicely.
Oh, good.
Because it was a bigger glitter, it's
chunkier glitter.
Yeah. There's still some though.
Yeah. Well, my cat.
I see a piece on your neck.
Oh yeah, that's everywhere. Well, it's because I cut out the tooling, the tool on this table, so there's glitter all over the place. And there's a cardboard box down here that the glitter like fell into.
Nice.
And Sunday morning, the cat got in the bed with us, and I was like, why the fuck are you so sparkly? And I was like, oh, she got into that stuff. So
how cute.
Glitter happens. We all wore purple because that's the color of the suicide prevention ribbon. And actually, they're still taking donations until December 31st. So if you wanted to donate to the cause, you can just donate to the cause in general for I'll put a link on the blog. It's the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Or if you want to donate to me, you can donate to Katie Cahill. You can search my name through the website, or you can donate to the Starboard Project team, or whatever. It doesn't matter. It was just a great day. It was a really emotionally draining, I think.
Yeah, I cried so much.
Yeah,
it was.
It was emotional, but it was also, there were some like happiness too. I feel like the camaraderie and the togetherness and stuff was pretty. The honor bead ceremony was intense.
Yeah, and they had different colored beads for different things, and so there was The ones that really struck me were the white beads that people that have lost a child to suicide, and those were hard to see,
Yeah.
So it's like, oh no.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it was hard, but it was awesome, and we raised a lot of money, and it was
Yes.
and it was a physical challenge for me that I'm really proud of accomplishing.
Yeah.
We
me
did
too.
good.
Yeah.
We didn't even actually really stop for a break, except for that one time to go up those fucking stairs that were
Yeah.
like murder
Yeah.
stairs. I'm telling
Yeah.
you now.
We probably should have taken a longer break, huh?
Yeah, because
Before we
my
went up
legs
there.
are like, oh my God. And then I was like having trouble breathing by the time we got to the
Ugh,
top.
Yeah.
I thank you for doing that with me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It was
It
good.
was amazing.
And you got to meet my niece, even though we didn't
Yeah.
see her much because we
Yeah.
walked too slow for her. She was all about it.
Yeah.
But it was a good time.
It was.
It was fun.
It was fun.
And then we went out and had drinks afterwards because,
Yeah.
we earned it.
Yeah, we did.
We had breakfast before. I learned some lessons about breakfast. But, French toast is not an option anymore.
Aww.
Well, because my blood,
Too
I
much
was
sugar.
like, oh, well, I can eat like an extra carby breakfast because I'm going to be exercising more. So it'll offset.
Yeah.
But nope. That was not a thing.
Oh.
It was all the syrup.
Yeah, syrup.
I'm sure.
Damn.
Syrup is all sugar. That's
Yep.
all it is.
Yep.
I
Today.
totally just had a fucking brain fart. Did
On-
you see that?
Yeah.
My brain went.
I was going to kick it and be like, today, on to Artsy Yells.
You're funny.
We're going to talk about...
We're talking about sugar skulls.
Yay.
Because now I realized last week, the last episode, we said we were going to talk about wood carving. But then I was looking at the schedule, and since we're doing every other week, I realized that if we waited to record or waited to do our Halloween episode, it would actually come out after Halloween. Like in years past, we've like done crazy Halloween shit. I think we've
Yeah.
like dedicated a whole month to
Yes.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Because
Because we kind of like it.
we love we love Halloween.
Kind of cool.
But also, I learned last year that doing the whole month of Halloween, people start to lose interest.
yeah. Yeah.
After like a couple weeks, they're like, "All right, let's fucking move on. No more
Yeah.
Halloween shit. Stop it."
Yeah.
So
We're trying not to do that to
we
you
vowed
again
this year to just do a one Halloween
Yes.
episode. And I wanted to change it up a little bit this year and just talk about sugar skulls because they're so, like, I even noticed in Joann's when I was in there looking for fabric for my raincoat that I'm making the other day,
Mhm.
there's a lot of sugar skull fabric.
Yeah, there is.
Like a lot of
It's-
sugar skull fabric.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's like you see more and more people wearing like t-shirts with sugar skulls and more people with sugar
Mhm.
skull tattoos.
I just actually got a little sugar skull planter with an air plant in it at Trader Joe's the other day.
Cute.
It's really cute.
You see them all over the place. So I
Yeah.
felt like maybe we should talk about them
Yeah.
because they are popular. They're
Yes.
neat, but I feel like also maybe people should know what they are and where they come from and how to actually make sugar skulls
Mhm.
and all that cool
I
shit.
took a fun little workshop once where we did
Oh,
them.
yeah?
Yeah.
Fun.
Well, we didn't make the actual skull itself. We had the sugar skull already
Yeah, because
made,
it
and
takes
then-
a while for them to dry.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you painted them and stuff
Yes.
with their stuff. So I'm going to get into a little bit of history about it. And I, again, just researched this morning. So I'm going to be reading a lot. But I feel like it goes better when I research it, like,
It's fresh.
the morning of. It's all fresh in my
Yeah.
mind. But
Yes.
I don't know.
You're not like,
It's easier to
can't
do-
remember. What was that?
Yeah. No. I mean, sometimes I'm still like that. Let's
Well,
face
yeah,
it.
me too.
'cause sometimes I'm
happened?
just.
What happened 2 seconds ago? Oh, I couldn't tell you.
I'm really tired today, apparently. Fuck.
I
I
am
can't stop
too.
yawning.
I
I
was-
still have not, like, come back from our walk.
Yeah.
Like, that was a lot.
Yeah.
I think because it was so emotional, too, that it was, like, extra
Yeah.
draining.
Yeah.
Did you see Kaylee's post on Facebook about having an emotional hangover?
Yes.
So that's
Yeah.
kind of what it was. So anyway, Day of the Dead, or no, I'm going to try to speak Spanish and I don't, so I apologize. Can you say it?
Dia de los Muertos.
Oh, there, she does it better. I'm just going to let Lonnie say
That
it,
was not
all the
like,
Spanish
I
words.
have
But
not a very good accent. but
well,
yeah.
no, but I didn't take any foreign languages in high school. When I should have been taking Spanish class, I was out of the bleachers smoking
And making out with boys.
and making out with boys. So I had other priorities in high school.
That's right.
They weren't the best of priorities, but look, it's what happened.
Yeah.
Just can't go back in time.
Yeah.
and I fucking
You
wouldn't
turned
if
out
you
to be
pay
an
me.
awesome person.
I turned
so-
out okay,
yeah.
despite my fucking making out and smoking cigarettes. Whatevs. So, Day of the Dead combines ancient Aztec customs of celebrating ancestors on All Souls Day, and also the Catholic traditions that Spanish invaders brought. Because,
Spaniards.
Mexico is a hugely Catholic nation now
Yes.
because of those. Okay, I don't even remember what I was saying now, but that part's going away. Anyway, so what the fuck? I'm so terrible. Anyway, the Catholics have to make everybody do their religion.
Yeah.
So, but I will say though that the people of Mexico do Catholicism in a way more beautiful and fun way
Yes.
than the people of the United States
Yeah.
or the people of Italy, as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
Because I've been to Italy and I've seen their Catholic
Mhm.
business, and
Very
I was
serious
raised Catholic. It's
processions
like
and-
they have big parties and they're pretty and beautiful.
Yeah.
And that's like this whole Day of the Dead thing it's a celebration
Yes.
and it's fucking cool. It's
Yeah.
really cool. Actually, have you seen the Book of Life?
No.
I thought it was
Wait,
going to be super dumb, but it was actually a really good.
When did that happen?
It was a few years ago. I feel like it's an older movie.
Okay.
It's a
I
Disney
don't know
movie,
if
though.
I
I don't know. It's good. It's free right now.
Oh, is it the one with the sugar the
Yes, it's
Yes.
about that. It's good. Anyway,
skeleton people?
yes.
Okay. God.
So, anyway, it's a combination of All Souls Day, which is a Catholic holiday. And it started in the early 1500s is when this all kind of started to merge together. But Day of the Dead is a joyful time that helps people remember the deceased and celebrate their memory. So you're not being sad about the dead.
Mhm.
You're being like, you're inviting them to visit and you're
Bringing them snacks and
excited.
stuff?
And yeah. So they believe that the gates of heaven are open at midnight on October 31st. That's such an arbitrary day. I wonder whatever, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, and then so that's our Halloween. Like
Yeah.
that's what we do. And they do celebrate.
So there's this whole narrative of the veil between
Mm-hmm.
them and the spirit world and the
Being
real world
lifted.
is thinnest at that time.
Yeah.
I wonder where that.
I do
Yeah.
wonder where that came
It's
from.
pretty cool.
So, but, and the spirits of, okay, so the spirits of all deceased children, the angelitos is what they're called, are allowed to reunite with their families for 24 hours on November 1st. And then on November 2nd, the spirits of the adults come down to enjoy the festivities that are prepared for them. So this is a big celebration. Now, other Catholic nations celebrate Day of the Dead. They do it in Italy and Spain and South America and the Philippines. They all do All Saints Day celebrations on November 1st and 2nd, and there are special masses and stuff. But Mexico is the only place that does this the way that they do, with like the
does the
bright,
Dia de
beautiful,
los
yeah, the
Muertos,
party
yeah.
and the beautiful decorations
parades
and
and
the
stuff is
parades
there?
and
Yeah.
like it's wild.
Yeah.
Now it's mostly traditionally celebrated. Each part of Mexico, like, are they called states in Mexico?
Oh shit! I should know that.
I can't
Or
remember.
not provinces. But...
No, that's Canada. I
Ah,
think they're
can't remember
states.
the name. Yeah,
But
yeah, states.
so each part of Mexico celebrates this in a different. They have their own little twist on it, no matter where you're from. It's a kind of a started in southern Mexico, but like when we were there I've been to Puerto Vallarta, and I've been to Cabo San Lucas, both on Halloween, and they celebrate like they all had their little altars and stuff in Cabo San Lucas too. So I think it's pretty much all of Mexico. But in the
Mhm.
research that I was doing, it was saying a lot of stuff about southern Mexico and central Mexico. So I think they probably do it a little bigger.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
I mean, like people travel and move to different parts of Mexico. So of course they will bring their family traditions with them when they move. So it would spread all over Mexico. But, let me see.
My kiddo's grandma was scared of all the skulls. She hated the skulls.
Really?
I felt so bad for her because every time she'd see any kind of skull, ooh.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah, they really freaked her out. I'm like, how does she handle this for, you know?
Yeah, because it's a big, and this is in Mexico bigger than Christmas or Easter. Like, it's bigger than any other Catholic holiday. Like,
Wow.
this is their big deal.
That's
And their
awesome.
big celebration. So they make altars, which are called ofrendas, I think is how you say it. And they're fucking beautiful. They're so beautiful. So they would make, each household or each family makes one. And then they remember their dead. So they would decorate it with candles and buckets of flowers. Wild marigolds are in particular, and I'll get to that more when we talk about decorating sugar skulls, but those are of great importance. So the marigolds and bright red coxcombs. They would put foods like fruits and nuts and tortillas, foods that were like favorite foods of their deceased.
Yeah, yes.
And then on November 2nd, they would put, like, for November 1st, they would, because it was for the children, they put little toys and stuff out and more child-oriented things. And then for November 2nd, they would put, like, cigarettes and shots of tequila or whatever out. And then also things that were of importance to their loved ones, like little mementos or things that either represent things that they liked or heirlooms or things they left behind, like things that, like, if they played a musical instrument, maybe put the musical instrument that they played, or if they were an artist, maybe put their paintbrushes or something, like, or if they were a carpenter, their tools, like things that were of importance to them. And then the snacks and the refreshments were to for the spirits to refresh themselves when they arrive from their journey.
Yes.
So it's really, if you've ever seen one of these in person, they are gorgeous. They are so pretty, and they use like paper flowers and real flowers and beautiful tapestries, and it's just gorgeous. And you know, it's funny, I saw a lot of tourists taking photographs of their little altars and stuff.
Is that okay?
Well, I feel like you should ask.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you should not be an American pig and ask permission.
Yes.
Like, and I asked permission. Anywhere I saw one, I would ask, may I take? And some people told me, no, please don't do that. And I was like, absolutely, no problem.
Yes.
Like, because they're not doing it for the tourists.
Right.
It's not like a pretty thing that they're doing for tourists. They're honoring their dead. It's a celebration of their dead's lives.
Yeah.
And you're like kind of being a creeper about like taking pictures, assuming that it's okay to take a picture. Like, they're not doing that to share their culture with you. Although they're all every person that I've spoken to was very happy to share their culture and actually talk about their deceased and tell you about them. And it's a really beautiful thing. If you're there and you have the opportunity to talk to people, they're celebrating. Like, so don't be like, don't be a gross tourist. It's embarrassing to me. When I see other Americans, like when we're doing stuff, I'm like, oh, no wonder people don't fucking like us.
Yeah.
Don't be an asshole, man.
Yeah. Well, I wonder how the appropriation
well, I thought about that when talking about this.
Sugar skulls, because it is such a big thing now.
It is a big thing.
I don't see people talking about that, but I'm sure it's
out there in the ether. Like,
yeah.
Like, I mean, I have a tattoo that actually isn't a sugar skull.
No, it's not.
But my tattoo artist was like, well, can we make it like a little feminine? So it has some little vines on it. And someone asked me if it was a sugar skull once, and I said, nope. Yeah. It's a skull pincushion.
Yeah, it is.
It's what it is. Like, I just wouldn't have that tattooed on myself. And I'm not criticizing anyone who has it done, but it's not something that my culture owns.
Yeah.
So, although I do think that sugar skulls are pretty, and I have
I
clothes,
love them.
and I
made
have a
yeah.
dress with sugar skulls on it.
Mm-hmm. I have a bag with sugar skulls.
Yeah,
I know.
they're beautiful.
I know, they are. Yep.
But I don't know. Actually, if we have any Hispanic listeners, it would be interesting to know
Yeah.
what you feel
Yeah,
about
'cause
the
you're
cultural
probably like,
misappropriation.
Whoa, these are everywhere now.
Yeah.
Like,
I should ask my friend Helen about that and see
Yeah.
if she has any opinions about it or anything like that.
yeah. Because it is kind of like, oh, yeah.
I mean-
sorry, guys. We just like them, but like, is that okay? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I actually did kind of want to address that a
But
little
I
bit,
think
but
the line is like maybe like profiting off of it, is where it
Yeah.
gets kind of...
yeah, when I was researching, I found a lot of people that were like, there's this one lady that sells molds and supplies and stuff. And I'm actually going to put her video on this week's blog just because it talks about the history of it and stuff. And she sells molds and does classes, and she is not a Hispanic woman. So I
Okay,
feel,
yeah.
but I also feel like she is honoring like the tradition and
Yeah.
telling the story, and she's teaching people about it and
That's good.
teaching people
Yeah.
about the symbolism. So it's not just make this fucking cool, pretty sugar skull.
Yeah.
It's like, this is why you're doing it. And she has them, when she does the classes, she has people decorate them for their loved ones, because that is what the sugar skull actually is. In their altar, you put them in there to represent your dead.
Okay.
So they come in all different shapes and sizes, and you decorate them, and oftentimes they put names on them.
Okay.
So you would put like the name on the forehead or the back of the skull, the name of your deceased, and however many are in there. Like, you don't have just one person on the altar. Like, people are putting their whole family as grandparents. And in parts of Mexico, they go to the cemeteries.
Oh, yeah.
And they have big parties there, and they clean the grave, and they decorate it, and they bring the sugar skulls to the grave sometimes, and sometimes they go there and talk to their relatives. Like, I saw pictures and videos of it, and it's like a big party at the graveyard. It is full of people, and the people are bringing their grandchildren to introduce to grandparents who are deceased. Like, it's a family event. And it's a big party, and it is a big celebration. Like, Mexican culture celebrates death as part of life.
Yes.
So it's kind of beautiful.
Yeah.
I really think it is, because, I mean, like, I was just talking about this morning too. My niece's mom, she called me to thank me for kind of looking out for Nola a little bit, my niece at the thing, because she did have a lot of questions on the way home. Like,
oh, yeah.
yeah, like, and Kaylee said,
and stuff?
so your daughter's probably going to have some questions. And I told Jessica, I said, I didn't really know how to answer that question for Nola. Like, I didn't know how you guys wanted to talk about that. And so she had a lot of questions on the way home. But it's funny to me how our society, like, it's kind of this taboo thing to talk about, and it's a really sad thing to talk about it.
As much as we
and
possibly
we do,
can.
and we make it like this scary, bad thing. And I think that just in Mexico, people, I mean, I'm sure that there's also, I don't understand the culture fully. I'm not speaking from, people get sad when they lose their loved ones, and people get afraid that they're going to lose their loved ones. But I think that when it happens, they have a much different attitude and outlook about it than we do here. With this like weird, macabre, like sad, morose attitude. Like, yes, of course people are sad when their loved ones die. Duh.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want your loved ones to die. But it's just celebrated differently as part of the cycle of life. And
another thing I noticed is, like, on their news or whatever, nightly news, they will show like dead people. Like, a car accident, they will show the bodies. They will show, like, if there's something horrible happen, they show the bodies. And it's like,
wow,
so
they do not do that here.
No, they don't. And I was like watching, the news with my ex, and I was like, oh my god, oh, like totally taken aback and shocked. What, And I was like, gosh, they totally hide that from us. Like, we
Oh, they
don't
do.
see that. And
Unless you're a little kid and they make you go to a fucking open casket Catholic funeral, and then you're traumatized for the rest of your goddamn
and
life.
then that's not real because it's all makeup and stuff.
No.
But, like,
I still occasionally have nightmares about my
Ugh.
Auntie Gertrude's funeral because it was the first one I ever went to, and it was a fucking weird. And again, I'm sorry, but Catholics make shit heavy. Like,
yeah.
American Catholics make
Yes.
shit. Like, it's all doom and gloom.
Yeah.
It's real sad. It's real weird. Like, not that funerals aren't sad anywhere, but it's like, I don't know if you've ever been to a Catholic funeral, but they are very
Yeah.
fucking long, and there's a
Yeah.
lot of weird
A
shit.
lot of kneeling and stuff. But
Oh.
the prayers are nice. They're,
Yeah,
I mean,
they're okay.
the idea
They're scary,
behind
though.
It is. Because it's
Well, and
very
again,
repetitive.
I
and people
think that the
mumble
reason
and,
that it
like,
was scary, too, for me as a child, is that nobody fucking explains this shit to you.
yeah.
Nobody talks to you about it. It's just hushed tones and don't let the children hear. And then
Mhm.
you're dumped into this situation where you see your favorite great aunt that looks like a wax figure because she wasted away of cancer. It doesn't
Mhm.
even look like her.
Yeah.
Like, I was 6 years old and clearly traumatized by that.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I think that it's a different attitude. I think that
Yeah.
it's you're dead or part of your culture.
It's almost like they're more realistic about it.
Yeah.
Like that it's like we just want to pretend like it's never going to happen. I know,
Mhm.
at least myself personally, like, oh, death, that's not going to
Yeah,
happen.
no,
to
that's
me.
not a
I'm
thing.
Whatever. Like, yeah. And
Or
they're
you
more
do what
like,
I
it's
do.
a thing, and
I'm
it
like
does happen.
at one end of the spectrum or the other, and I wonder if people like have anxiety about this as often there as they do here, because I worry. Like, I think, and a part of that is OCD. Like, I
Mhm.
ruminate and worry and chew on things for fucking ever. But as soon as something, like, if I don't hear from my son for a couple days, then I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my God, something's happened. Like, my
Yeah.
brain won't fucking shut off. And I think it's that fear
Yeah. Yeah.
that, and when I was a little girl, I can remember laying in bed at night, like, crying because I was afraid my parents were going to die.
Oh,
Or I was
used to
afraid
have
my
that too.
grandparents were going to die.
Yeah.
Like, and I think it really kicked off when I was when we were in elementary school. One of my youngest brother's friends died he had an aneurysm on the playground in front of all of us.
Oh my goodness.
Like, it was horrible. And it was my cousin's best friend, and we all knew him, and that made death, it wasn't an old person.
Yeah. Yes.
It was like someone my age. And then I was like, wait a minute, what?
right. Yeah.
And it was just random. Like, my parents have no explanation for that. It just happens sometimes. I'm like,
Yeah.
it can just fucking happen?
Right.
Like, I
yeah.
was freaked the fuck out.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't know they were anxiety attacks. Then I didn't know what the fuck they were, but I would just lay in bed and my heart would race and I'd be like, what if I don't want to go to sleep? Because what if I fucking
Yes.
die while I'm
Yes,
sleeping?
because
Like,
then you'd hear stories about people dying in their sleep. And like,
Yeah.
what?
Or-
I could just.
you know a weird thing that I was terrified of when I was a kid? I used to fucking love Ripley's Believe It or Not. Do you remember that show?
Yeah.
And I had a coloring book that was Ripley's Believe It or Not, and I fucking love that shit. And for some reason, I think that it's that I heard of spontaneous human combustion.
Oh my god.
So I was fucking terrified
Oh.
of spontaneous human combustion.
Yeah.
I was pretty sure I was going to burst into flame at any fucking moment and die.
Oh no.
Like,
Yep.
we kind of got off track. But I just wonder if that is like, I would like to know if that's a thing that is as prevalent there as it is here. People being afraid
Yeah.
of dying because of the way that they
Yeah. The way that
they celebrate
handle it.
death. Like,
Yeah.
they're, I mean, again, I'm sure they all cry and they're sad when someone dies, but they have like a
way to remember. It's like a. That
They
your
still
family's
include their
gonna-
dead in their
yeah,
family.
you're still going to be included even
Yeah.
after you're gone.
you're still a part of the
There
family.
must be some comfort in that.
Yeah.
You know? It seems like there would be.
I think that there would be.
Yeah. Like, well, at least I'll still get to come to this party every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So back on track.
Yeah.
How does Sugar Skulls play into all of this?
Yeah.
Like,
Where did that start?
where did that start? Well, sugar art was brought to the New World by Italian missionaries in the 17th century. So the first church mention of sugar art was from Palermo, Palermo, that's Italy, in Easter time, when they would use sugar to make little like lambs and angels. And when
Yum.
they came
I
to,
want to eat them.
well, that's one thing. You probably shouldn't eat them.
Okay.
Like you can eat them, but
Yeah, it's not.
this is just a solid block of sugar. It's just
Yeah.
sugar and egg white. That's all it
I
is.
still love eating sugar cubes.
Oh my
so-
God, me too. I would like let them dissolve on my tongue.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah.
I used to do that at church when I was a little girl, because after
And you hurt
church
your
we would
mouth.
have like this little
Oh, the
coffee hour, coffee and
yes, be
cookies.
like-
And I can remember just thinking about it, I can smell the basement of the church, because it always had this like
Yes.
like this vaguely mildewy,
Yeah. But with the
musty
coffee.
scent, but like with percolator coffee. It
Yes.
was always percolator pots,
Yep.
those big ones,
Yeah.
and stale cookies that
Yes.
the old ladies made. And I would always reach up, I would hide under the table and reach up and pull down a sugar cube. And because if I got caught eating
Yum.
sugar cubes, I would get in trouble.
Me
But I would
too.
sit in there and let them dissolve on my tongue, and it would kind of hurt the roof of your mouth
Yeah,
and your
yeah.
tongue a little bit. But yeah.
Ah, good memories.
Oh my God, that was so
I
funny.
don't know if my
It's
kid has
weird that I
ever
could
eaten a
smell
sugar
that.
cube.
I don't know. It's probably not a good thing.
I know that exact smell.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
musty church smell with percolator
Yeah.
coffee.
Yeah.
And it's funny
Someone
because
should make a church basement candle. No, I'd freak
Yeah, that's
people out.
creepy.
It'd trigger people.
it would trigger people. They still have like a, I think twice a year, or maybe it's more than twice a year. But they have a church rummage sale at the church
Oh.
that I went to when I was a little girl.
Yeah.
And I
Still
love it
smells
when
the
I'm
same.
down visiting and I go in there and the door opens and I'm like, it still fucking smells like that in here. Like you would think that they would like maybe stop making percolator coffee or like whatever. Like the metal that those pots are made out of is questionable to me. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
like are you
that's true.
getting
Yeah.
like some kind of crazy fucking poisoning from this lead soldered coffee basket thing? I don't know.
Makes
But
you see sky people.
you're so weird.
I'm sorry.
Sky people. Are those angels, Lonnie? Is that what you're talking about? So anyway, you've just totally fucking threw
Sorry.
me off. It's so funny though.
Ah.
Day of the Dead, as you can imagine, it's a pretty expensive holiday
Is it?
for people down there. Like people in these, they're putting food and
Yeah.
decorations and stuff up. So it's a pretty expensive holiday for like, just small little families.
Yeah, that's true.
Sometimes they like have to save money for 2 months beforehand to buy on all that stuff, put all that stuff on there.
Oh, and I think I interrupted this talking about the sugars, like American lambs and angels.
Yeah, no, that's what
Sorry.
I was getting at. Like
Okay,
the
okay.
reason that they became so popular in Mexico is because when these missionaries came over and taught the native people of Mexico how to do this, they grow sugar in that part of Mexico. So sugar was
Okay.
abundant. Like it was just,
yeah.
so they didn't have to, it wasn't an expensive it wasn't an expensive material to use.
Okay,
So they were
okay.
able to make the skulls. They kind of adapted this to their own rituals
Do you know what
and
they
traditions.
made them out of before?
Well, I read a little thing that said they used actual human skulls.
Oh,
So,
maybe
I don't know,
Yeah,
because it was like the
maybe,
Incans and
yeah.
the Mayans and the
Yeah, that makes sense.
so they may
Okay.
have, but
And they're like,
um,
no, we'll just represent that now.
like,
instead
let's-
of
the fucking Catholics came in and said,
We'll
let's
let their-
be
yeah,
civilized
oh, I
about
see.
this
Yeah,
shit.
let's
Let's do this.
leave those.
Even though they
in
have
the
whole
grave
fucking
and-
catacombs lined with skulls, the
Yeah.
goddamn Catholics.
Yeah.
But I'm not making fun of Catholics. If you're Catholic, I'm not trying to insult you at all. I'm just making jokes. 'Cause that's how I deal with Catholicism. Because,
You gotta process it.
I got to process it. I didn't enjoy it as a child. But anyway, so sugar skulls, as I said, they represent the departed soul. And so you would put one for each of your dead in your altar and decorate them with their names and pretty flowers and stuff. And I have a couple of videos that I'm going to share on the website about how to use the molds. There's a recipe to make the sugar skull, which is actually very simple. This one woman, she just used 6 cups of sugar and 2 egg whites.
Oh.
And you mix it up until it's like kind of wet sand.
Mm-hmm.
You have to mix it really well. And so it'll be like wet sand. And when you compact it in your hands, it'll stay in the shape
Oh, okay.
of your hand. And then you get the molds. You can buy them all over the place now. And the molds come with a front and a back half.
Oh, okay.
So we're just going to get straight into how you make the skull.
All right.
And you pack that egg moistened sugar. Now, some people use meringue powder, but that's kind of expensive.
Yeah.
And you're not going to fucking eat these. So why
Yeah.
worry about raw egg?
Yeah.
It's not like you're not going to get sick from them because they're not made to eat.
Yeah.
So meringue powder is expensive. I would not spend the money on meringue powder. And also I think it's more traditional just to use egg white.
Mhm.
So it would be a more traditional experience.
Yeah.
So it's just once you do the 6 cups of water or 6 cups of sugar and the 2 egg whites and it's all like sand, you pack it really firmly into the mold and make sure it's very even. You want it to be real smooth on the back because you're going to have to put the front half and the back half together after they dry. But once it's super packed in there tight, as much stuff as you can get in there, you want it to be packed off and level. You might even use like a piece of cardboard to scrape it to make sure it's level. Then you're going to set it on cardboard and flip it over and take the mold off. And allow the sugar skull to dry, both halves.
Oh, okay. You don't leave it in the mold to dry. You just
Nope.
pop it out.
You pop it out gently and then let it dry for about 12 hours. Then when you tap your finger on it, it's going to sound a little bit like glass.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll know it's getting dry enough. And you're going to flip it over and you're going to gently take a spoon and scrape out the inside. Hollow it out a little bit. You're going to want to leave at least an inch for structure.
Okay.
But you scrape out what hasn't dried and then smooth it out and then allow it to sit and dry from the back side also.
Because, yeah, it would be too hard.
Because it would be awfully
long.
heavy and it would take a
Yeah.
long time to dry and it could crack. So once
I
those are
see.
all dry, you have the front and the back skull dry, you're going to use royal icing, which is powdered sugar and egg white. And again, I don't think that you need to use the meringue powder to make the royal icing because this is
Mhm.
structural and
Yeah,
decorational
making it
purposes
blue.
only. You're not going to eat this.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't go to the expenditure of meringue powder for this.
Mhm.
Like when I make my gingerbread cookies at Christmas, I use meringue powder because I don't want to make anybody sick with egg whites.
Yeah.
But this is for decoration. So don't break the bank on meringue powder.
Yeah.
Seriously. And you can find royal icing recipes
Oh, yeah.
all over the internet.
Yeah.
It's super, I mean, all it is powdered sugar and fucking egg white
Yeah.
and maybe a little bit of water. But
yeah.
like if you're making it thinner, depending on what you want to do with it, but you want this stuff to be thick.
Do people ever put anything in the hollow space?
I don't know. That's a good question. Because
Yeah.
it would seem like
You could put
you could put some kind of memento or
something, a message to
candy
them
corns or a message or yeah,
I don't know.
you could. That would be. I wonder if they do.
Yeah.
That would be neat. I know. I wish you would have asked
I'm
that
sorry.
beforehand because then I could look it up. But so once that's all ready to go, you glue it together with the just plain white royal icing and let it set to dry, and then you decorate.
Awesome.
And they're beautiful, and they use all kinds of they use foil, like
Oh.
reflective foil, glitter. You know how I fucking feel about glitter.
yeah, I would have to put some.
Oh, the glitter.
Yeah.
So traditionally, the person's name that you're remembering would go on the sugar skull. And again, sometimes they do it on the forehead, sometimes they do it on the back, but they would oftentimes take a piece of that foil, you glue it down with icing, write the person's name on it in your icing, and then put like a little, whatever around the edges.
Okay. Yeah.
They like to put foil, reflective foil in the hollows of the eyes, like the eye
Okay.
sockets.
Yeah.
And I did some research about symbolism because I kind of feel like there is some significant decoration.
Yeah. Yes.
So there's a few. Like yellow represents the sun and unity because under the sun we're all the same. And this is just one
That's
website that I
beautiful.
found it on, but it is
Yeah.
beautiful. White, using this color in decorations represents spirit, hope, and purity. Red represents blood and life. Purple is for mourning, grief, and suffering. So you would, that's kind of a drag. I like my definition of purple better, but pink is signifies happiness. So flowers, marigolds are a really huge deal and very important to this holiday. And I think I mentioned them before. Marigolds are closely related to this holiday because it's known as the flower of the dead. In the Aztec belief, the marigold was sacred to, I can't say this guy's name. Lonnie, can you say this guy's name? Ha! Lonnie can't say it either. He's the god of the dead.
Okay.
So it's like
Michoacan.
So yeah, no, I can't do
yeah.
it. Anyway, the god of the dead, and when the souls departed, family and friends return to Earth. It's believed that the strong scent of marigolds helps guide them back. So that was the only significant design that I like, because I researched if there was something special about the designs or the colors that they used. And honestly, the site that I found these colors on was not a Hispanic site. It was not.
Oh.
It was an American site. So I don't really know the validity of these colors, like these claims, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I want to see that name again. I'm going to see if I can figure this out.
She's really, really wants to
Yeah.
fucking pronounce that correctly. But the marigolds were the only thing that I found that was like of significance. I did also find a thing saying that like spider webs were a symbol of the dead. But I only found one thing that said that. And again, it was American site. So I feel like maybe like the spider webs and the stuff like that are kind of a westernized, like an Americanized version of the decorations. Because I have not seen any sugar skulls actually in Mexico that had spider webs on them. I think it's just
Yeah.
Americans making it creepy and
yeah,
Halloween-y.
like Halloween.
Like they're misappropriating. Isn't that what that's called?
Yeah, I think so.
So, but Lonnie and I have a cool project that we're doing involving sugar skulls that I kind of want to talk about for a minute, because I run, we're going to have pictures. We haven't done them yet, but we will have them finished and ready to mail by the time this airs. Did you find something that pronounced it?
Yeah, let's see if we can. Oh, whoops. No.
I was going to say, that doesn't sound anything like it.
No, it doesn't.
What?
Oh, okay, no. Sorry, that's not going to help me.
Nope, it's not.
All right.
We cannot speak ancient Mayan.
No.
We just can't do it. But
Plantain.
yeah, spell it. What? How's it spelled?
Miclantecutli.
Yeah, that's a lot of letters, guys.
It's a lot of letters.
It is. So Lonnie and I have a project that we're doing.
Miclantecuti.
Oh, okay. I'll take your word for it.
Miclantecutli. God.
It almost sounds Irish. Whoa, Lonnie! I gotta lock that chair when you come over, so it stops doing that. Anyway, I run a mail art group, and our swap for October is sugar skull masks. We're gonna paint, those little paper mache masks you get at like Michael's or Joann's. They're super on sale right now, BT dubs.
Mm-hmm.
I have a bunch. I think Lois sent those to me. Isn't that common? Or Keely, maybe
Yeah.
Keely. Was it in the big box of stuff that Keely sent us?
I think so.
Yeah.
With the coffins and the...
Yeah. Okay, that's where we got them. Thank you,
Yeah.
Keely.
Yeah.
We're going to use those, and we're going to paint them up as sugar skulls. They're skull masks, but we're going to paint them up as sugar skulls and then naked mail them to
Yeah.
whoever else is mailing. So we'll show you pictures of ours.
Yeah.
I've done that once before. I made one for the first or second year I had the mail art group. We did a naked mail for Valentine's Day, and I took one of those skulls and made a Valentine themed sugar skull kind of. I painted it up with little
yeah.
hearts and little whatever. It was really cute. Actually, I didn't want to send it to the person. I was like, damn, I want to keep this.
I decoupage mine, I think.
I think I'm going to make more than one. So
Yeah.
that I'll do 2 at a time so that I can have one to hang on the wall at my head here, because
Yeah.
I like to make it paint it to look like a skull
Yes.
and then do all the decorations on it. Like I like mine to look really genuinely authentic, like a skull. So I
Ah.
what I did for that one. I mix I have a bone color that I mix.
Oh yeah.
Because skulls are not just like bones are not just
Bright white.
Bright white. No.
Yeah.
So I have a color. I use white and I use oh geez. I use a titanium white, and then there's another one that I use. It's like a fleshy tone that I mix in with it, and then I paint the whole thing in that color, and I like to paint the inside with like a cool bright color, like the inside of the mask.
Yeah.
And then once that dries, I like to use like I paint the black parts, but then I'm looking at it trying to think of the process. Then I like to like, paint it with black and then rub it off.
Oh, yeah.
So that it shows the teeth and the stuff, and it makes it actually look like a creepy skull.
Yeah.
And when I did the last one, I think I'll probably do it on this one too. I put crackle paint on it. So then it looked really old, like
cool.
at the end when everything was done. So it looked kind of old and cool.
Yeah.
But then you paint the flowers and decorate it or whatever. So it's fun though.
Yeah.
It's neat. And Naked Mail, I know we've talked about it before. We just put the sticker on the inside of the mask and mail it. And my post office person always looks at me like, what? Anyway, I'm excited about that. And I'm glad actually because there weren't that many people signed up for it at first. And I was like, oh, bummer. But I think it's 4 of us now.
Okay.
Well, Keely signed up for sure. And Skydrea? I don't know if that's how you say her name.
Yeah.
And then you and I. So that's good. I know a lot of people we have a few people that only mail from their mailbox. They don't go to the post office. So I know they don't do the naked mails because they don't go to the post office.
Yeah.
So.
I'm going to put mine in the mailbox. It'll fit.
I don't mail from our mailbox because our mailbox locks.
Oh, yeah.
And so the mailman doesn't actually have a key to it. And the thing is broken off, like the flag.
Oh, yeah.
Also, we have a lot of fucking people in our, people that might steal our mail in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So I just go to the post office.
Yeah.
I actually make my husband go, but he won't mail naked mail stuff anymore.
Because embarrassed.
No, because the lady, he goes to there's a post office annex, I think is what they're called.
Yeah.
And they are like, I don't know if you can mail this. And he doesn't want to have that argument. Like if I just go to the one in Multnomah Village, they are just like, what are you doing now? Like they don't care.
Yeah.
Like there's one young guy that always gets really excited. He thinks it's hilarious. He loves to see what I'm doing. He's like, what are you doing? Like I dumped like a bunch of, several years ago, we did a Halloween. I love doing naked mails at Halloween time.
Yeah.
We got what are you doing, kitty? Wow, she's all poofered up.
Uh-huh.
What's the matter? Wow, something must have been going on because I've never seen. Did you see how big her tail was? Oh, that was a little freaky. But I mailed a bunch of limbs. I went to the Dollar Tree and got like the severed limbs.
Nice.
And then just like painted the toenails and put tattoos on them or whatever. And then wrote people's names on them and just stuck them in the mail. It was hilarious because I just like dumped all of them out and they're like, what the fuck? It was great.
Yeah, that is great.
But I think it'll be cool. We'll put pictures of them up for you guys.
Yes.
And it'll be awesome.
It will be awesome.
It'll be great. Dude, seriously, I think we're done.
Woo!
It was under an hour.
Wow.
Well, not much under an hour, but it was I think we reined in our fucking talking a little bit at the front of the episode.
Trying to listen,
We are, but
I think we even did better about swearing.
I don't.
Oh.
I don't think that we know how much we swear because when just a note, I told Lonnie before we started this. So our survey happened and somebody did mention swearing on the survey. They weren't a jerk about it.
No.
They were very nice about it.
No.
They said, if I'm going to be honest, the swearing bothers me a little bit, but I know I have to honor that which thank you for honoring that.
Yeah.
I don't realize how much I swear until I edit these podcasts. And I'm like, wow, we say fuck a lot. And where was I the other day? I was at Kurt's barbershop, my husband's barbershop, and one of the maintenance guy there at the strip mall was talking to us. And he's like, Jesus, Katie. And I'm like, what? And he's like, it's just like fuck, buckety fuck. Like every other word out of your mouth. And I'm like, really? And then the other guy that was there, Tony, was like making this like, yeah, dude, you swear a lot. So I just don't even realize how much I swear. I don't realize I'm doing it while I do it. But then when I edit, I'm like, oh God, we swear a lot.
Well, obviously comes naturally.
Right.
Yeah.
So our next episode will be about wood carving. There will be dick jokes aplenty because wood. Because
Yeah, I know.
we have teenage,
Yeah.
like 12-year-old boys inside of us. I don't fucking
I
know.
know.
It's crazy.
Blame it on hormones or
Something.
I blame Trump actually.
Oh my God. I
'Cause
did it before that.
I know, that's true. I know. Dicks are a thing.
They're funny.
Yeah, they're funny.
Look, genitalia is hilarious, really, when you
Yeah.
think about it.
Yeah.
It's all funny.
Let's just embrace it.
I know. So, anyway, if you like the show and you want to support us and you want us to go back to 4 episodes a month instead of 2, you can support us on Patreon. It's patreon.com/2artsygals. You can support us for as little as $1 a month. $10 a month or more will get you a bonus mini-sode every time we have an episode that we publish.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get a special one that only you get to hear. Today we're going to talk about a product. I haven't decided what product yet.
It'll be fascinating.
It'll probably be something related to doing the sugar skulls, like
Yeah.
our skull masks.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but you can also support us if you don't want to do a monthly donation. You can do a one-time donation on PayPal. You can access that through our website, 2artsygals.com. You can get stuff on our Amazon wish list. We have a list that you can access through 2artsygals.com and send us a product that you want us to talk about. Or you can just tell people about the show. That's a helpful thing. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
Actually, and one of the biggest things that we need from you guys is for you to rate and review us on iTunes, because that bumps us up in the search results. So if you go give us a bunch of stars, and you don't even have to say anything really, you could just say, hey, they told me to leave a thing or whatever. It doesn't matter. But go do that, and that'll bump us up in search results, and we'll get more viewers that way. And that helps
Yeah.
us a lot. And then we get more people to potentially support the podcast. If you want to email us, you can send us an email at 2artsygals@gmail.com and tell us about things. Tell us stuff. Tell
Yeah.
us what you're working on.
Yeah.
I don't know what I did with our phone number. Again, I should have it memorized, Lonnie. And I keep losing it.
I should have it too.
I pushed it over here.
I
Okay.
thought I had it saved.
That's okay. Anyway, you can call us. And we're on all the social medias. So follow us there on the social medias. Because it'll be a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, until next time, go make some cool shit, yo.
Do it now.
Do it right fucking now.
Do it.
For real.
Rah.
Rah.
Good morning, Katie. This is your friend. I'm recording on the new Tascam. I'm trying to figure out what the buttons do. But every once in a while, I take a break to poo.